and welcome to VOSR International, the Voice of Shortwave Radio. I'm your host, Wavecrest Guy. This broadcast is being transmitted by WRMI, Radio Miami International, in Okeechobee, Florida, on both 9455 and 15770 kilohertz. This broadcast is also being transmitted by Shortwave Radio in Lower Saxony, Germany, on 3975 kilohertz. So we're going to start out the broadcast with some announcements like we usually do. And first off, we want to announce the winner to our radio giveaway. And it is for an XH Data D328 shortwave radio. And the winner of the shortwave radio is Bill from Nashua, New Hampshire. And I did get the email from Bill. I sent him an email asking for his address and got it mailed off. He did receive the radio already, and he already sent back some pictures of the radio and some other things that I sent him, and I'm going to have that posted over on our website. You can go check it out now at VOSRinternational.com. Go check it out. I got a page that announced it, the radio winner. So you can go check out the picture. And congratulations, Bill, and thanks for listening. Next, I just want to have a reminder that you can go check out our Facebook page. That's on VOSR International, and it's over on Facebook. And I usually put announcements on there, reminders of when the show is going to come out, some reception reports, things like that. And that's a place where people can go post. They can do the same if you got questions or if you got communication, reception reports. You can put them on there also. Again, so if you're on Facebook, go check out and join our Facebook group at VOSR International. Then, of course, we have our website, VOSRinternational.com. You can go over there. We have got lots of stuff on there. We've got our listeners map where I place a pin at your location, and I've got pictures of the map all over. We're getting emails and communications from all over the world now. Then you can also check out our listeners radio page where listeners send in pictures of their radio setups, the different radios that they have. I have that page set up so you can go check out those. Always nice to take a look and check out some nice older radios that are being in use. We also have some VOSR International merch on there, and I also have a lot of videos on there where you can see my radios in action, or you can actually see videos where I'm going testing radios, and I give my opinions about them. And those usually link back to my YouTube channel. That's Wavecrest Guy. So my YouTube channel is Wavecrest Guy. You can go there directly and subscribe, or you can just do everything right from our website at VOSRinternational.com. All right, now on to the show. So this next segment will be part two of my radio segment about my new boat anchor that I purchased last month, the Helicrafters SX71 shortwave radio. I first went in part one, went over purchasing the radio and my looking for a long time in the history of me wanting to get one of these old boat anchor tube type shortwave radios. And so today I'm going to go over in part two that I did get a old handbook. I got the original handbook with this radio. It is kind of beat up a little bit, but still definitely legible and readable. The cover has a couple broken off pieces, but it goes into the operating and service instructions for the SX71 and the SX71U Run 4, it says. And again, this is from the Helicrafters company in Chicago, Illinois. So first off, it goes in and it gives a description. I'm going to read the description that this instruction manual has, and right from the book here. The model SX71 is a precision-built, highly sensitive, double conversion, super heterodyne communications receiver which employs 11 tubes plus voltage regulator and rectifier, and covers frequency range of 560 kilocycles to 56 megacycles. The receiver is designed for reception of code, CW, amplified modulation, AM, and the narrowband frequency, modulated (NBFM) signals over its entire frequency range. The use of the double conversion makes possible a greater image rejection than is practical in a single conversion receiver. For ease and flexibility of operation, 2 extra-wide slide rule dials are provided. One provides for general coverage over frequency range of 560 kilocycles to 34 megacycles, and the other is a band spread dial calibrated specifically for the 80, 40, 20, 15, 10, and 6 meter amateur bands. The electrical band spread control provides a vernier of fine-tuning adjustment throughout the entire tuning range of the receiver. For the ultimate in selectivity, a variable crystal filter and a crystal phasing control are used so that the receiver can be peaked and adjusted for that hard-to-read signal. The carrier level meter has provided for an aid of the tuning the receiver and to give a relative indication of receiving signal strength. The audio system provides sufficient audio power to operate either speaker or headphones. The speaker operation, external loudspeaker of either 3.2 or 500 ohms is required. A phono jack permits attachment of a record player. The automatic series noise limiter, operated by a toggle switch, permits the operator to reduce the background noise caused by severe electrical disturbances. The receive standby switch permits disabling of the receiver for the standby periods without having to wait for the tube heaters to reach their operating temperature when the reception again is required. The SX71 normally operates on 105 to 125 volt, 50 to 60 cycle alternating current AC power source. The SX71U, a universal model of the SX71, permits operation from 25 to 60 cycle AC sources at voltage ranges from 105 to 250 volts. Both models have provision for operation from the external DC power source. The power consumption of each model is 90 watts. So that is one of the a few of the things that about this radio and the difference in between this one and newer radios in using it to tune in those frequencies, and especially some hard to get frequencies. You're not just putting it on. I'll compare it to the Grundig Satellite 800. Where I'll put it on the frequency. It's got the digital display, so I know I've got the frequency, and it does have that sync feature, which sometimes is instantaneous, and sometimes it takes a little while for it to hone in. But it pretty much gives you all the adjustment that you're going to get at that point. There are a few filters on the Grundig that you can use and you could step through, but otherwise there isn't too much. When you're using these this older tube radio, you're using the main tuner, and when you get to that, and it operates a little bit different because in using the band spread, but the band spread tuning gives you that fine tune, so you can actually do it in smaller increments and really focus on getting that really hard to get. Reception focused and tuned in, and then you can also change it over and use the crystal filter, which really does help drown out some noise and bring in that broadcast that you're looking to bring in. So it really has quite a few different things that you can do to try to bring in the reception better. It has the tone control also, which can increase some background noise, but it can bring out the reception that you're looking for. And then, of course, your sensitivity control, and I use that. I usually have that up to about 9 or 10 when I'm doing DXing and just trying to find stations, especially some weaker ones. So I try to have that all the way up. And then as I get something and I'm trying to get it in, I'll turn that sensitivity down to turn down some of the background noise. I also have this Helicopter's SX71 hooked up to a K480 WLA antenna, and that also has a gain control on it, so I can adjust that also along with the sensitivity, so it gives me even more adjustment, and it does help to bring in stations, and it does tune them in really well. there's a lot more messing with it. It's a little bit more difficult when you're using the band spread to actually see which frequency that you're on. I know some people have mentioned that you can definitely get a digital display and attach it on there, and that would make things easier that way. I'm kind of more of a purist on that. I like to leave the radio the way it is, and use it that way also. It's kind of the fun and the nostalgia about using these type of radios. So I probably won't end up doing that. A lot of times I'll cross-reference it with my Grundig Satellite 800, and I have the Grundig hooked up to a K180 WLA antenna, and for the most part, it's the 480s is a little better, but it's still the 180 still brings in things pretty good, and it helps me calibrate to where I am on the tuner. When I'm using the Helicrafters, and I can cross-reference that with the Grundig. So it works pretty well. I haven't had any issues with that, and it's really fun to operate, and that's one of the main things with this. When you're turning through, I've been in the area now. I've been on Molokai for going on 4 years now, and doing a shortwave for about half that time. But I'm starting to get to know where some of these stations are found on the dial, where they are, the times that they're on. So when I come across something different, it definitely is. It definitely is odd, and I could pick it up right away. That okay, that doesn't sound familiar, and go to that. And that has happened. I have had some new stations being picked up on this Helicrafters that I didn't really get on the Grundig. For the most part, when I went over to the Grundig to verify the frequency and such, I was able to do it. But there have been 1 or 2 times where the Grundig did not pick it up. And again, that could be because of the K180 antenna instead of the K480 WLA. But and matter of fact, I know for one of them, I even disconnected the K480 WLA from the Helicrafters and put it on the Grundig, and the Grundig did not pick it up. So who knows what that may have been? But the Helicrafters SX71 is definitely holding its own, and is really a joy to operate, and it is fun. For the most part, I am using headphones, and it does have a headphone jack right in the front, which is really nice. And but I am going to get. I do have a modern external speaker on it right now, and I've been just plugging that into the headphone jack. So it's simple. It's right there. It's in the front. But I am eventually. I'm looking for one of the Helicrafters speakers. I know the R46 is the period type speaker for this one. They can be kind of expensive, and they're very large. I don't know if I want to go with that one or not. I do see a Helicrafters R47, which is the small 4-inch speaker, and quite a bit smaller. I have found those, and they're halfway reasonable. I may get that just because I'm limited on my desk space here on my radio desk, even though it's not totally period correct. But as long as it works and it's good. That way, when I have that, that hooks up in the back to the terminals on the back with the 2 speaker wires. And then when you plug in your headphones, that'll disconnect the main speaker, and everything will come through the headphones. So that can stay plugged in and ready to use. And all I have to do is unplug my headphones, and then I'm ready to go. So I'll use that when I record receptions that I put on my YouTube channel. Over at Wavecrest Guy over on YouTube, and so I will be. I unplug my headphones, and I'll do that. You'll end up seeing it that way. So it will be useful, and eventually I will get one that is definitely closer to period for this Helicrafters SX71. And then for the bands, I haven't spent a ton of time on the amateur bands, but I have been on 40 meters, which is somewhat active here in Hawaii. There's a couple .nets that they use at certain times of the day,
and I can hop on there. I've only done that once, and I do have one of the receptions recorded, and I've got that over on my YouTube channel, Wavecrest Guy. But I'm also going to, for this segment, I am going to start a new page over on our VOSR International.com website. And so I'll have links to those receptions, and you can go take a look, and you can see this SX71 in action. I have a couple videos that I ended up having the lights out, and I don't have the light on for my phone when I was recording. And you can really see the glow. You can see the glow of the tubes, and you can see how the dials and everything illuminate. And they have the lamps, and it's really got that nostalgic look to it. So it's really, really nice, and check them out. Go over there and check those out. I think you'll enjoy them. So definitely using this is definitely different. It's not just sitting there, but when I lock on a station, a lot of times I'll be listening to RNZ Pacific, and they'll have their music shows on. So I will end up logging in there and just sitting there listening. It doesn't. I don't get a lot of fade or anything on this older radio. It holds the station really well. As far as being calibrated, it is off slightly. When I got it, the guy said that there was a field calibration done, so didn't go through the all the steps of calibrating it, but it's really close, and it's definitely close enough for me for right now. So I'm definitely going to leave it. I'm still using it and getting used to it, and I get more used to it every time I use it. But I'm just going to leave that for now. It's definitely good enough. I can definitely figure out where I am. That main dial, like I said, it changed a little bit when you go through the band spread because that only goes from 0 to 100, and that is the whole length of the dial. So that can actually change the frequency by quite a bit. So a little different than the modern radios, but it does make it really fun to use. So next, I want to go over the operation and how the manual goes over operation of the radio. So again, right from the manual, each control of the SX71 communications receiver performs a definite function that contributes to the outstanding reception capabilities. Full appreciation of the receiver is to be expected only after you become familiar with each of the controls and the effect of their operation has on the receiver's performance. So it says radio telephone reception to receive amplitude modulation AM and the narrow band frequency modulation NB/FM radio telephone signals. The following use of the controls is recommended to obtain optimum performance from your model SX71 communications receiver. So on here is the volume control, which is actually the on and off button. In this case, I won't have to go through that. It does list also the receive standby switch, and the switch is normally set to receive. That way you can hear the broadcast. It is used mostly for a ham radio, as it permits disabling the receiver for standby periods, at the same time maintaining the tube heaters at the operating temperature for instant use. The receiver is disabled by setting the switch in the standby position. Next we have the BFO switch, which is over on the left side of the receiver. This switch is set to off for radio telephone reception. Reception control. This control should be set at NB/FM for the reception of narrowband frequency modulated radio telephone stations located in any of the shortwave bands. To receive amplified modulated radio telephone signals over any portion of the frequency range, 3 positions of the reception control may be used: normal IF, broad crystal, and sharp crystal. The broadest bandwidth is obtained with the normal IF position, and the narrowest is the sharp crystal position. Note that as the receiver is made more selective, the background noise and interference from the adjacent channels is reduced. The use of the crystal filter will require the adjustments of the crystal phasing control, and that'll be coming up. Now, and I definitely do that quite a bit when I'm flipping through this, and it's also similar to a feature on some of the more modern radios. I know my Radio Shack DX394 has it, where you can switch it to CW, and the sideband, I believe, are the adjustments on there, and you can definitely hear the difference in when that is switched over. So I'm definitely flipping those through when I'm trying to hone in on a certain frequency, and it does work great. The next is the band selector. The band selector for the desired position as indicated by the number of the bands, and this one goes bands 1 through 5. Then, of course, there's the main tuning control. This control sets the frequency of the reception on bands 1 through 4 after the individual band has been selected by the band selector. Frequency of all the bands are shown in megacycles. For the reception on band 5, this control must be set to 100 on the logging scale. It is important that the calibrations on the main tuning dial scales will be truly true only when the band spread pointer is set to 100 on the band spread logging scale. And this is what I'm saying. Sometimes you can get lost when you're using the band spread because you set it on one frequency and then you're fine tuning with the band spread, but the band spread range is quite large. It'll go over several frequencies, so you can get a little bit lost of where you are. Back in the day with these radios, a lot of people would start a log, and they would have, it'll be a band spread log, and they'll be able to put the frequency that you have the main tuner on, and then you would also record where you picked up a frequency on the logging scale. So it's a different way of finding things, and it would make it a lot quicker if you kept a log like that. I haven't started that yet. I'm still going through the bands and going through on different times and seeing if I'm able to pick up some different things. Lastly, I'm going to go through the band spread control, because this is what really makes using these radios much different than the modern radios. So this control sets the frequency of reception on band 5 after the band has been selected by the band selector. The calibration of band 5 dial scale will be true only when the main tuning dial pointer is set at 100 on the main tuning logging scale. So that's the thing, when you're going to be tuning on the band spread side, you have to have the main tuning set all the way to the right to 100, and just the opposite for when you're on the main band, and you have to have the band spread all the way on the logging scale. You have to have it all the way to the right at 100. Then when you're going to use the band spread on the logging scale, you'll have to you'll back it off, and it goes backwards. So it is a little bit complicated, but it actually works really well, and you do get used to it after a while. Okay, so more specifically, however, the band spread control functions to electrically spread out the amateur radio shortwave bands. So amateur radio band reception. To use the band spread control on the amateur bands, index the main tuning dial for any of the amateur bands as indicated on the white dots on the main tuning dial. Then tune through the band with the band spread control. The frequency of the reception can be read directly from the band spread dial scale. So on those, there are sections on the dial here on the band spread side for 10 meters, 20 meters, 40 meters, and 80 meters. So if on the main dial on the left side, if I select the band, I say band 3, I can set it to 40 meters. There's a little dot there on 40 meters on band 3. And then as long as I have the band spread all the way set to 100, when I do that, then when it's calibrated, and then I go over to the right dial, which is the band spread dial, and right in the middle of the screen is a 40 meter scale, and that'll show it goes from a 7 to 7.3 megacycles, and I can adjust through there, and that'll show the actual frequency that you're on. When you're starting to do different things with that main dial and using the band spread, that's where you can definitely lose your way a little bit on where you're at, because you'll have to go to the logging scale and not the actual meter scale that is calibrated. So a little confusing, but it does work really well, and that fine tuning, it's so large, it does help you bring in those hard-to-get stations. We're going to go ahead and stop this segment here. I may do a third segment and talk a little bit about what else you can hook up to this radio and use it. So go ahead and send us an email if you have one of these old Helicrafter tube radios, or even if you have a Helicrafter's SX71. Send us a picture in. Send us an email with your comments at VOSRINT@yahoo.com. That's VOSRINT@yahoo.com. Or head over to our website at VOSRInternational.com, and you can click on the mail icon there and contact us that way.
And now we'll have a programming segment. And this one is going to be one of those classic shortwave programs that has been around forever, and it is Glenn Hauser's World of Radio. Now, if anybody has heard Glenn and heard this program, his delivery is often described as monotone, but the information that he gives is great. It's a really good show, and it's really easy to listen to. And when I first got my first shortwave radio, I was doing research trying to find different frequencies, different broadcasts and shows that I could try to catch on my radio. And I came across the information for Glenn's show. So I went ahead and found the schedule, and I was able to pick him up a few times. It's a little bit hard here in Hawaii, just time-wise with the time difference and sometimes with propagation. So sometimes I do go over to his YouTube channel at World of Radio, and you can get caught up with the programs that way. But it's a really good catch, and I'll just go over a little bit of history here. He produces and presents a weekly 30-minute program, World of Radio, heard on a number of non-commercial AM/FM stations throughout the world and worldwide on shortwave. Now, Glenn began his broadcasting career on Radio Canada International during the late 1970s, providing DXing tips on Sunday nights, and his tips also appeared on Radio Netherlands' DX Jukebox program. He wrote for Popular Electronics and Modern Electronics, and published a review of international broadcasting. Now, the World of Radio debuted in 1980 on WUOT in Knoxville, Tennessee, moving to shortwave 2 years later. Now, if you're like me, when you start thinking back on over the years, going back to 1980 now, believe it or not, is 45 years already. It is kind of hard to believe as you get older that the time goes like that. So this program has been on for a very long time, and to continuously keep providing this information is a really big commitment. The half-hour program consists of Hauser's reading the news about radio from around the world. Although World of Radio focuses on shortwave news, it also covers all aspects of broadcasting. Most items are contributed to the program by listeners. Now I'm going to go over from his website and go through the schedule. Now, this is quite an extensive list here, and there are a lot of AM and FM stations, and I'm going to go through the shortwave portion of it, but there's a lot of ways that you can check out his programs. So starting off on Friday at 1300 UTC, he's going to be on WRMI on 15770 kilohertz. And then the first shortwave airing each week. So this is the very first time you'll be able to grab the show for the week. Then also, he is going to be on Friday at 2200 UTC on WRMI on 9955. And they also have the web and phone cast that you can pick up that frequency on. Then on Friday from at 2230, he's on Shortwave Radio Germany on 3975 UTC. Then also, this one is irregular. It is listed for Saturday at 0300, and that is on WTWW 5085 kilohertz. Now, I had just started picking that up again. That was off the air for quite a while, and I am picking it up now. But I haven't heard Glenn's show on there, but I haven't tried to tune in at the time. So that'll be something. It does say list on his website here that is irregular. Then also, he has on Saturday at 1430 UTC, he's on Shortwave Radio Germany on 6160 kilohertz. And then also at Saturday on 1730 UTC, he's on Shortwave Radio Germany on 3975 kilohertz and 6160 kilohertz. Then he is listed on WRMI on Saturday at 2100 UTC on 9395 kilohertz. And then still on Saturday at 2230, he's on WRMI on 15770 kilohertz. Moving on to Sunday, he is on WRMI on 15770 kilohertz at 2100 UTC. And then also on Sunday at 2330 UTC, he's on WRMI on 9455 kilohertz. Moving on to Monday at 0030 UTC, he's on WRMI on 7780 kilohertz. I do get that one. That's where I've caught him before. I do get that one at times. The propagation is good here in Hawaii, so that is one that I've caught him on. Then also on Monday, he is on 0830 on Shortwave Radio Germany on 6160. That is suspended for holidays, it's listed here. And then also on Monday at 1930 UTC, he's on Shortwave Radio Germany on 3975 kilohertz and 6160 kilohertz. Then on Tuesday, he's on WRMI at on 7780 kilohertz. That's Tuesday at 0330 UTC. And then on Tuesday at 1300 UTC, he's on WRMI on 9955. And then the next hour on Tuesday at 1400 UTC, he's also on WRMI on 9955 kilohertz. Then still on Tuesday, he's on at 2330 UTC on WRMI on 9395 kilohertz. And then at the same time, he's also on Shortwave Radio Germany on 3975 kilohertz. Next, on Wednesday, he's on at 0030 on UTC on WRMI on 9395 kilohertz. And then also on Wednesday at 1930 UTC, he's on Shortwave Radio Germany on 3975 kilohertz. And then 6160 kilohertz. Last one for Wednesday, he's on at 2100 UTC. He's on the WBCQ on 7490 kilohertz. And then the last day, Thursday, he's on at 0130 on WRMI on 5010 kilohertz. And then lastly, he's on Thursday at 1630 UTC. He is on Shortwave Radio Germany on 6160 kilohertz. So that's the schedule. You can head over to his website at Glenn Hauser's World of Radio and check that out also. I will have it on our website at VOSRinternational.com. I'll have an update there, so it'll have the information on the on Glenn's show. And I will have the links to his YouTube channel, and I'll have the schedule on there so you can check out World of Radio. Definitely a program you should be listening to. One other thing I wanted to mention, I have had the honor of being on Glenn's show, or being talked about on Glenn's show, 2 times since I started this broadcast. It's brought up that my radio show started, this VOSR International, the Voice of Shortwave Radio, started in February of this year, and I was mentioned for being on 9455 kilohertz, and then just recently, a couple weeks ago, I was mentioned that somebody caught the program on 15770 kilohertz. So I had a couple blurbs on there, and it's always great to hear, especially to be recognized on that show. Lastly, one other note, when I first started my program, and I announced VOSR International even before the program went out, I posted the information that the show is going to be starting, And one of the first communications that I got through YouTube was from Glenn congratulating me on my show. So I'll always remember that. That was really nice of him to take the time and give me congratulations. So let me know, do you listen to Glenn's show? Are you a regular listening to World of Radio? What are the things that you like about it? And how do you pick it up? What frequency do you pick it up on? What day do you go over to his YouTube channel at World of Radio and listen that way? Let me know at VOSRINT@yahoo.com. That's VOSRINT@yahoo.com. Also, you can head over to our website at VOSRInternational.com, and there's a mail icon there you can click on and send a message that way.
And now on to the mailbag. We're going to start out with the email from Andrew from South Devon with a reception report from our 3975 kilohertz broadcast. And he reports it was bitterly cold there at 2 degrees Celsius and with a biting northerly wind. And it'll be a few degrees below freezing by midnight. Anyway, the reception was better than last week. Last week, the propagation was not good, and it was slightly better this time with an SINPO of 33232, and he will continue to try to catch us on 3975 kilohertz. He also sent in a video, and he's going to send in some pictures of his radios. And there's a video of his communal garden with a 30-meter long wire antenna. I'm going to be posting that on VOSRInternational.com, so you can all go over there and check it out. Next, we received an email from Rainier from Hanover, Northern Germany, and he was listening on his Sony ICF 2001D fed into a dipole for 48 meters. And, of course, he was listening on 3975 kilohertz over from Germany, and he reported an SINPO of 44444. So good signal here, only slight noises and statics. Later the reception became worse. Signal it dropped a bit, but it was still audible. And he reports that he is a radio enthusiast, DXer, since the early 70s, and he's interested in trying to find stations from around the world. But since 45 years, he's devoted to free and independent radio from all over the globe. So this is his first email report to us here at VOSR International, and he enjoyed the reception, and he will be checking us out in the future. So thank you, Rainier. I did get a QSL card in the mail for him, and we'll see how long it takes it to go from Molokai, Hawaii, over to Hanover, Germany. Next, we have an email from Adrian over in Malta, and he's been trying to get us over on 15770 kilohertz for weeks, possibly a couple months, with mixed results. Propagation just has not been good. But he did have success in getting us on a 3975 kilohertz. So that was really great. Success after a long time, he writes. So glad I heard the broadcast. He did send a confirmation video, and it did sound really good. Thanks for the information in your email and your constant trying to get the program, Adrian. Next, we have Thomas from Nockenheim, Germany, and he was able to pick up our broadcast on 3975 kilohertz. And he writes that, hello, my name is Thomas from Germany, not far from the city of Frankfurt, and have been interested in international broadcasting for many years. I still remember having checked the shortwave and medium waves back in the 1980s. Later, I also embraced satellite radio and internet radio audio content. But I still own an old world band radio that I switch on from time to time to hear stations and producers that are still out there. I had been reading about the VOSR for a few months on some internet blogs, but it took until last night that I was A, at home and awake during the broadcasting hours, and B, finally catching your signal on a new outlet for European listeners via shortwave radio in Germany. So thanks for checking us out, and it's really good to hear that we are getting the word out over there and showing up on some blogs. So far, I've been really happy with our transmission on the 3975 kilohertz. It's worked out great, and we have been getting quite a bit more communication, and I'm really surprised how far that 1 kilowatt transmission goes out, and it goes out quite well. And the first couple broadcasts, the propagation wasn't good, but I still did get communication. So very good. We're really happy with it, and we'll be sticking on 3975 kilohertz, and glad everybody enjoys the show. And next, I got an email from Mike from Maryland, and he was just asking about our broadcast on 9455 kilohertz that was on November 22nd. And yes, WRMI did have an issue, a technical issue during the November 22nd broadcast on 9455 kilohertz. They had the program or the frequency running off the wrong automated equipment. So it started out with a different broadcast. There was another show on at the time. I did send them an email to contact them, and they were working on it, and they had it corrected. But about half of the show had already went through. So I did do a rebroadcast of that program on 9455 kilohertz on the next week, 11/29. So everybody is able to pick up the show that way. And again, if you do miss a show, or if there is an issue where propagation's bad and you can't hop on Kiwi SDR or get it that way, or even pick up some of our other frequencies, you can always head over to VOSR International.com. I've got a page there for our past broadcast, and that way you can keep up with what's going on here at VOSR. And the couple times I've had a couple segments that are part 1 and part 2, part 3. So if you missed those segments, you can always go back over there and pick it up that way. Next, we had an email from Joel from Frankfort, Kentucky. And he writes, "This is the first time I'm catching your program," and he's listening on 9455 kilohertz with an Eaton Elite field with a whip connection to a C-Crane roll-up wire with an SINPO of 44334. He said, thanks for the program, and he'll be sure to catch us in the future. Then he also sent us pictures of his radios, and of course I got them put on our website on our listener radio page over at VOSRinternational.com. So go over there and check him out. He has the Eaton there, and then he also has the picture of the old realistic DX100 along with the Eaton on there, and you can go ahead over to our website and check that out. Next, we got an email from Paul, and Paul is located on in Frontero on El Hierro, Canary Islands. And he was listening on 11/22, November 22nd, and that would have been on 15770 kilohertz. He said he was near the 20-meter band, and his equipment is a Philips B6X04A vintage radio with a wire about 1 meter. And the island has orography that works well as a reflector for signals coming in from the west. I think it is favorable for the station coming in from Florida. He did send a picture of the equipment, and I do have the picture posted on our website on our listeners page over at VOSRinternational.com. Go over there and check it out. Really nice looking radio in great condition. So thanks for contacting us, Paul. Next, we have an email from Carrie from Lahti, Finland, and she's the news editor for the Nord DX group. And she writes, "I spread the word about your transmission in Europe via Nord DX today," and she sent a link to it here. "Hopefully you will receive many reception reports from the northern countries. about your show already tomorrow via Shortwave Gold in Winsen in Germany. So thank you, Carrie, for spreading the word. I tried to send the word out as much as I possibly can through social media and such. So this is great. Somebody over there passing the word. It sounds like from another email that I gotten, it has been showing up on some blogs, so that is excellent. I am going to be putting this on our VOSR International website, so you can go over there and check the NordDX page, and you can check and see what Carrie does over there, and you can join the group. I joined the group, and I'm already confirmed, so I'll be checking that out and checking it regularly. Thanks again, Carrie. And I did get a second email from Adrian, and he sent in some pictures of his radios. He's got a really nice collection, and it took a few pictures to get those sent over, and I did get them added to our website over at VOSRinternational.com. Go over there and check them out. It's under the listener radio page, and you can check out all his excellent radios over there. Thanks, Adrian. Next, we have Edward from Gulfport, Mississippi, and he was enjoying the broadcast on the 29th of November on 5850 kilohertz, and he reports an S9 plus 20 signal, so actually a very excellent signal there, and he was using a Drake TR7 transceiver and a nested Marconi T antenna. Thank you for your reception report, Edward. Then we had an email from Jason from Central Mississippi, and he was also listening on 5850 kilohertz, and he reported an excellent signal that night, and he was listening on a Texan 990. Thanks for the communication, Jason. Next, we have Danny from Hamilton, Ohio, and he actually runs a shortwave listener group on a Facebook, and you can go over there and check it out. It is called Shortwave Listeners Group, and go check it out. You can join, and there's a lot of reception reports posted there, shortwave questions, things that people are picking up. So it's really a nice group on Facebook to go check out. That again is a Shortwave Listeners Group, and Danny from Hamilton, Ohio, did pick us up, and we were having a conversation there over on the group. So go check it out. And lastly, we have Ralph from Beaumont, California. And he writes that he just stumbled upon our program on WRMI on 9455. And he is a semi-retired radio personality from Palm Springs, California market. And he does volunteer work at KZSX, that's a low-power FM station in Cherry Valley, California. He owned and run by a fellow ham operator. He is also a volunteer reader for Amateur Radio Newsline. So he actually just caught the end of my show, and for whatever reason, 9455 kilohertz, WRMI starts my show again. Usually goes for about 1 or 2 minutes and then shuts it off. It's probably just a timing deal. And so he just barely caught that part there. He was listening on his Yaesu FTD X10 transceiver running on a HOA-friendly 49-foot Ultimax end-fed as a sloper with the help of a common POTA mast and tripod. Thanks for the email and communications, Ralph. All right, so that ends our mailbag segment. So please keep the emails coming and communications. It's really great. It is really the only way I can tell if anybody's listening to the broadcast. I definitely have people going over and checking out the website. I can see numbers there when people go to the website. But otherwise, for a reception to see how the broadcast is going out to certain areas, it's really good to get these reception reports. And even if I'm getting the same ones, propagation and conditions are different every broadcast. So it really does help me out to see how the broadcast is being sent out. So keep those emails coming, and you can send them in to VOSRINT@yahoo.com. That's VOSRINT@yahoo.com. Or you can head over to our website at VOSRinternational.com, and there's a mail icon, and you can click that to contact us that way. Now I want to have an equipment segment here, and this one it tends to be more for
collectors or finding out history about radios, and knowing that I had just got my Helicrafters SX71. I did a lot of research on a lot of different Helicrafters models before I decided on looking for one of those units. And what I ended up doing, of course, I used the internet and checked around, but what really ended up helping me, and I referred back to it time and time again, and actually still do, is Radios by Helicrafters. It's a book put out by Chuck Dotchis. And it's an older book. It's had a few reprints. I ended up getting mine on eBay. I got it for like $20. It does have a price guide in it, but of course, my copy is from 1996. So the prices are still way out of whack, of course. But as far as the information given for each every unit that Helicrafters actually put out, there's a lot of great information in here, and the best part is it's really easy to access. It's really easy to find what you're looking for in there because of the way the book is set out. So if you're at all interested in the history of Helicrafters, I highly recommend this book. It gives the history, and it's not overly long. But it is really complete, and they have a ton of excellent photographs in here of the old plant. It actually shows the plants that they have, or that they had, and it's really got some great pictures in there. It shows their advertising. So as far as history goes, it's really an excellent resource for anything Helicrafters. And then it's split up for radios, and then it goes into consoles. They even made TVs. They had speakers, and the whole book is divided into that, so you can easily flip over to a section that you're looking for. Like if you're looking for an S-series radio, you can flip over there, and then you've got a few pages of S-series radios. All that they made. Then they have a section for SX. They have for transceivers, for their ham transmitters. It just goes on and on. And for each model, they give you a great picture of it, so you can see what it looked like. Then it goes through and tells you the function. It tells you, the tubes, the number of tubes. If it was like another model, when it came out, the initial price of when it came out. There's just a lot of information in it. So again, I use this quite a bit. I referred back to it when I was deciding on the ones that I was going to get. So I also, when I got my SX71, I was going to be on the lookout for a speaker, and I'll talk about that in another segment. I wanted to try to find something, period. I have been using my BHI noise canceling speaker with it, which does work excellent, but of course doesn't fit the period. And so I'm looking for one of those. But in doing that, I referred back to this book multiple times because there are a few different radios, speakers out there that were paired up with the SX71, and you have to be careful with those. And again, I'll talk about that in the future. But if you are interested at all in Helicrafters, I highly recommend this book. They do have this book at the library also, so even if you don't want to purchase a copy, you can usually go to your library, and I have seen this book in libraries before, and it's definitely worth checking out, and you can check it out for free that way. And if you're like I was, deciding on which model and everything, just a checkout and maybe even a renew from the library may suffice long enough to help you decide. It really was invaluable for me in helping me choose, and I was able to pick a couple models, and I'll talk about that again in a future segment also. So let me know. Do you have a copy of this Radios by Helicrafters? Do you have other books that you use to reference for your collections or just for radios that you use? Send us an email at VOSRINT@yahoo.com. That's VOSRINT@yahoo.com. Or head over to our website at VOSRInternational.com and click on the mail icon and contact us that way.
And now we'll have another segment of On This Day in Shortwave Radio History. On November 25th, 1927, the 10-meter band, 28 megahertz, was allocated worldwide to amateur radio operators by Washington International Radio Telegraph Conference. This was a significant milestone in shortwave history as it provided amateurs with a crucial high-frequency spectrum for long-distance communication. November 26, 2016, shortwave radio stations including BBC World Service and Radio Havana, Cuba, broadcast extensive coverage and special programming regarding the death of Cuban leader Fidel Castro, who died on that day. November 28, 1875, inventor Thomas Edison announced to the press a phenomenon he termed as etheric force while experimenting with the telegraph. Although he abandoned this research after others claimed it was merely electromagnetic induction, this event was a minor point in the prehistory of radio wave detection. November 29, 2016, an unexpected M1 class solar flare erupted on sunspot AR 2615 and which ionized the upper layers of the Earth's atmosphere over the Pacific Ocean, causing a brief signal loss for marine and amateur radio operators. December 1st, 1921, the U.S. government's establishment of the first broadcast service marked a turning point for radio, which had previously focused on a point-to-point communication. This opened the door for transmission of voices, news, concerts, and other content to the general audience. December 1st, 1966, WWV radio station moved to its current location near Fort Collins, Colorado, which improved reception across the continental United States. December 7th, 1941, shortwave radio history was defined by the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor in 1941, which led to America's entry in World War II and the immediate suspension of all amateur radio use by the FCC. The day is marked by immediate use of radio to spread the news of the attack, as well as radio intelligence efforts that preceded it and the eventual historical broadcasts that documented the events and their aftermath. And that concludes our segment of On This Day in Shortwave Radio History.
And that concludes our broadcast. Be sure to catch our broadcasts every Saturday at 0300 UTC on 9455 kHz, and also on Saturdays at 2300 UTC on 15770 kHz, transmitted by WRMI Radio Miami International from Okeechobee, Florida. We are also broadcasting on Thursdays at 1900 UTC on 3975 kHz, transmitted by Shortwave Radio in Lower Saxony, Germany. Until next time, ahoy ho everyone.